I know there are some now saying that, because of Trump and because of the Bitcoin strategic reserve and, there's going to be this massive movement toward accumulating Bitcoin. And I'm pretty skeptical of that. I've been doing venture capital in the space for almost 7 years. I've never met a Cardano developer. Not one.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. In this video, Mark Yusko reveals his bold 2025 predictions, exploring Bitcoin's rise, market cycles, and insights on Ethereum, Cardano, and altcoins. Let's catch him to discover where crypto is headed next.
So many people had their expectations built up positively for the halving, that you have this parabolic move right after the halving, and that clearly didn't happen. You saw a pretty meaningful sell down from 74,000 all the way down to 53,000. I think that caught a lot of people off guard. On the same day as the approval of the Bitcoin ETFs, the CME released a whole bunch of additional futures products that essentially increased the liquidity pool for people to take the opposite side, right? You can go short futures, you go long the ETF, have a market neutral trade, but that constant selling in the futures market puts a cap on upward trajectory of prices and even could put downward pressure if somebody else piles on and goes naked short. So this downward relentless pressure finally dissipated in September, and we made this really rocket ship move all the way back to new all-time highs. And the nice thing is we've seen this accumulation pattern again, higher highs and higher lows. Now, I was a little surprised. I thought Gensler had been very clear that he wasn't going to allow that to happen. But just like with the Bitcoin ETF, he didn't want that either. But eventually he had to relent. And I give the ETH people a lot of credit for getting that through. But to your point, a surprise was that there wasn't the same follow-through in price. There was some demand for the ETF. And I think the reason for that is Bitcoin, digital gold, store of value, that mantra, I think is acceptable to big institutional investors, sovereign wealth, etc. The ETH use case, smart contracts, platform, toolkit, it's like, well, maybe, but what about this Solana thing? And what about this Avalanche thing? And what about these other things that I hear about that are better and faster and cheaper? And, so I just don't think there was as much universal acceptance of the use case and the investment thesis as there was for Bitcoin.
Bitcoin's recent price fluctuations suggest that future declines may be less severe than the dramatic 10% plunge it experienced last week. Analysts from Bitfinex note that the easing of sell-side pressure has significantly altered market dynamics. After peaking at $100,000, Bitcoin's realized profit metric, a measure of USD gains from moved coins, has dropped 76%, falling from $10.5 billion daily during the surge to $2.5 billion. This decline indicates that the frenzy of profit-taking has cooled, potentially leading to more stable price movements. On December 6, Bitcoin's price tumbled from $103,493 to below $93,000, wiping out over $303.5 million in liquidated long positions within an hour. Despite the sharp correction, signs of market stabilization are beginning to emerge. Funding rates on platforms like Binance have leveled off at 0.01%, while Bitfinex analysts believe the market is transitioning into a more balanced phase where volatility may diminish. However, not everyone is convinced. Glassnode's lead analyst, James Check, warns that sell-side pressure remains intense, particularly from long-term holders reaping substantial profits. With an average entry price of $24,481, long-term investors are seeing gains of approximately 400%. Analysts caution that such profit-taking could overwhelm new demand, potentially catching traders unprepared as market momentum shifts.
Oh, look, I am still a believer that the 4-year cycle exists. I know there are some now saying that, because of Trump and because of the Bitcoin strategic reserve, and, there's going to be this massive movement toward accumulating Bitcoin and the 4-year cycle is going to go out the window. I'm going to bet that humans are going to human. So my expectation for this year was that fair value, which post-halving was going to be in the, 80,000-ish range, somewhere like that, would continue to accrete all the way to somewhere around 100K by where we are today. So to me, fair value is right around that 6-digit level. I figured we would blow through that 6-digit number, and then humans would human. The humans would come in and they'd start to lever up, and we'd see a parabolic move probably to 120, maybe even 150. This time in 25, it'll be April-ish, and that would kind of make sense a year after the halving. So at that point, we'd hit that ebullient level. Then the question is, do we get the passage of the strategic Bitcoin reserve? Do we get, Tom Lee was on CNBC talking about this, saying that, the exchanges don't have enough Bitcoin on their platforms and people are going to be scrambling for it. Certainly possible. Could that push us well past that 150K range? It's certainly possible. If you think about a bell curve distribution, to me, the most likely is we get to fair value, we go to, call it 50% premium above fair value, so that's in that 150 range. And then, unfortunately, we have another bear market starting mid-year 2025, and we enter crypto winter again. Now, those who think that crypto winter is never going to come again, I'm pretty skeptical of that, personally. I mean, history is, it's interesting. I ask people this all the time. Look at parabolic charts. Show me one. And all I want to see is one. No one's ever been able to show me one. Show me a parabolic chart that goes parabolic and then goes flat. A new higher plateau. None of them do that, right? They go parabolic and they keep going parabolic, and then eventually they go.
Robert Kiyosaki, renowned author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, has issued a grim warning of what he calls the biggest crash in history, urging immediate action to mitigate financial fallout. Sharing his concerns on social media, Kiyosaki emphasized the vulnerability of baby boomers, who rely heavily on traditional retirement assets such as homes, stocks, and bonds. He predicts that the bursting of the stock market bubble could leave this generation facing devastating financial losses. Kiyosaki encouraged younger individuals to guide their parents in reassessing their investment strategies while market prices remain high. He advised selling conventional assets like homes, stocks, and bonds to invest in gold, silver, and Bitcoin, which he considers safer havens during turbulent economic times. Warning of the cascading effects of a collapse, he cautioned that unprepared boomers could place financial burdens on their children, especially with rising healthcare and retirement costs. Linking the aging of baby boomers to shifting economic dynamics, Kiyosaki argued that their growing financial insecurity could trigger broader market busts in real estate, stocks, and bonds. With sharp criticism of the Federal Reserve's monetary policies, he pointed to unsustainable debt levels and excessive money printing as factors fueling what he dubs the everything bubble. For those willing to act swiftly, Kiyosaki sees potential not just for survival, but for prosperity amidst the chaos. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Seller. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.